all dearly miss Atkins Diy Clonakilty. For generations, it has been at the heart of our community. I delayed producing this video until now because the loss has been so tender. Yet I still remember the many warm-hearted and thankful people that gathered together on that day, the day that Atkins Clonakilty officially closed.
When you're mayor, as I said earlier, you're normally invited to open things. Very rarely you're invited when there's some places closing down. But we have to look at the positives here today. And the positives are that Atkins has served Clonakilty well, very, very well, since the late 1890s. When you come in here, you were always coming in here to a very, very happy establishment. You could see straight away that all the staff got on so well together. And that came through to the customer. And the customer knew that where you were going in to a shop that was there and the people were there to help you. And for that, I thank you very, very much on behalf of the people of Clonakilty. To Sandra and to Stuart, thanks so much for the employment that you gave this town. The employment that you gave the permanent staff here, and as I said when I was speaking to the staff earlier, to the casual staff here. I know that you used to take on youngsters who were preparing to go to college, and they were able to help pay their way when they were in college. So we're here to celebrate, and to celebrate one of the finest businesses in the whole of Munster, not just West Cork, one of the finest businesses in the whole of Munster.
We'll return to the closing speeches later, but for now, let's go back a little further in time. I had the pleasure of meeting with Sandra and Mike first thing on a Monday morning.
Sandra, how many years are you here now?
I'll be here 33 years in September. Morning. I was working in Cork and I heard this job was going, so I tried for it because I wanted to come back to Cork, to Clonakilty, and I got it, and I started working with Mary Nyan and Ina Driscoll, and she was here as well at the time. So, morning. So the office at that stage was down where we have the paint now.
Oh yes.
So we were down there, and then Ina left, and unfortunately Mary died. So Anne and I were on our own then for a lot of years together, and they moved the office out here then to the back so we could keep an eye on what was going out there. The lads used to joke that we should get a caravan because the office was moved around the building so many times.
Sandra and Stuart were to head up the management buyout of the business back in 1996. They leased the premises and started trading as Atkins Diy Clonakilty. The business has flourished under their care. In fact, this is what's making the looming closure even harder to bear. But in a changing world, the property owners have decided to put the building up for sale. And so the business has had to cease.
The clock, we missed the clock ticky away there.
Already?
When the two of us are together, we didn't take no notice, but
Yeah.
if you're on your own now, it's going to be lonely.
And what will be keeping you busy today? What's on your mind today?
You see, usually Mondays you'd get a certain amount of stock in, so we'd be ordering and putting stock on the shelves. But because we're closing down, that side of it is gone. So that there's a lot. You didn't realise how much time you spent ordering.
Yeah.
And since Caroline came, thankfully, she does a lot of putting the stuff out on the shelves. So that freed up a lot of my time. Yeah, so now we're just winding down slowly. Yeah.
Well, let's go meet Caroline and more of the staff.
I love coming in here to work. There has been no morning that I've kind of went, oh no, I have to go to work. Not one single morning.
Not even a Monday morning.
Not even a Monday morning. Yeah.
I started at a young age back in March 1979. An old saying I was always told, quality is remembered when price is forgotten. And that was kind of our big thing like that. But the staff here then, you know, I'd say there's very few people around this town and the area that some family member wouldn't have worked for Atkins's.
I'm very sorry to see Atkins closing down. Yeah, I'd be in and out here every few weeks, picking up bits and pieces, and yeah, look, it's just going to be a loss to the town, really, unfortunately.
You know, it's starting to pick now, all right. You know that we will be closing shortly, and yeah.
And what will you miss most about the shop?
The lads, Sandra, Lorenza. I'm going to start crying now. The customers.
Yeah, look, it's a shame. It's been an institution here in Clonakilty and West Cork, and it's always been a place where you'll find the bits that you mightn't find in other places, and you know the staff are local, the staff are friendly, the staff are helpful.
Like, I remember the older stuff, but I got a phone call one morning, and it was an elderly lady, and it's always stuck with me, all the phone calls that we'd have got down through the years. But this lady, she wanted to know what time was Mass. It was the 7th of December, so she wanted to know what was the Mass time for the 8th of December. So anyway, I told her, gave her the times, and I just thought, you know, isn't it nice that she could ring here and ask that, because, you know, all right, it wasn't a question about timber or plumbing, or it was a nice thing just to, yeah, to be able to help somebody.
Oh, at Christmas, I used to come, I was asked would I do coffee and tea, and I used to come down on the 8th of December and make coffee and tea in the front there, and I used to make a whole lot of mince pies, and everybody would come looking for my mince pies. It was a lovely day, actually. That's one of my best memories. Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, it's always been part of my life. So yeah, it's sad. It's, you know, it's sad for town, I suppose. It's sad for all of us because you do feel like you're a family. This is my work family. You know, so it is sad from that point of view. You know, yeah, I miss the lads.
Sure, it was a shock to us all, really. It was something we didn't see coming, you know, and it's shocked a lot of customers, and a lot of the old people are coming in with years and years and years. It's a bit of, you know, but, and you get in a very personal level with customers as well, because, you know, you get to know their families. I've seen people come in there now with their small kids. There were babies in prams. Yeah. I'm looking up at these guys now. Do you know what I mean? They're adults. Like, so it's, you see all that involvement in people's lives as well. You know. Yeah. And it's great. Yeah.
So you called into the store today?
I did. I had to get a new ball cock to replace the old one, and some packing tape because we are moving house. So we're starting to pack up our boxes.
You know the store is closing.
I do. It's such a shame, and we'll really miss it. And it was somewhere that my dad used to come all the time. So I always kind of think of him when I come in here actually as well. So it is a very special place. Yeah, and he always loved coming in here, and yeah. So we'll miss it. We'll miss it a lot.
Perhaps one group of people who won't miss coming to Atkins's are the delivery lorry drivers. My guess is this junction wasn't quite so busy back in the 20th century. There's always been a lot of work going on in this yard throughout the many years. For one thing, we're gonna miss having timber cut exactly to measure. Another service that I think was unique to Atkins was that not only did they stock metal tubes, angle iron and box metal, but they cut it to measure for you as well. This was such a useful service and dearly missed already.
It's an institution. It's part of Clonakilty. I think it's absolutely tragic that it should be closed it down, you know? Absolutely. I don't know what's going to go up in its place. There's nothing in Clon that can take its place. We've been here nearly 45 years now, and it's been a good help to everybody, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They've always got time to speak to you and help you and so on, you know. It's brilliant.
November 2011 and the following July was the flood, and that was the scariest thing. I remember standing up at Harrington's corner with Stuart, and we could not come across the road. The flood water was so strong, and we went home for 2 hours and came back down, and at that stage then we just barely got across to come down to see what the devastation down here was. So the power was off, and as we walked down through the shop we started walking through water, and you were like, what is the yard going to be like? But we were very lucky, really. We didn't have a lot of damage. Again, we're lucky because we're very careful at keeping stuff up off the floor, so we didn't lose a lot of stock.
Okay.
And sure, we were up and running that morning because people needed brushes and stuff for cleaning, and we just got on with it. But again, the town is wonderful, and it all pulled together, and everybody got through it. It's the people that I work with I'm going to miss the most. Yeah. But when we actually told them that yes, we're closing, they've been so supportive. They really just have been wonderful. So yeah, we're a family. Yeah.
I'd be a big sports person as well, and if you're attending a sport event and you happen to win, and you say, Sandra, I might take Monday off for celebrating. She'd say, I take Tuesday as well.
I've been here. Jerry got married, and the morning of his wedding he was supposed to be in Cork, I think, for about 2 o'clock, and he had to call in to see us about 5 to 1, and we were like, Jerry, you need to go to Cork. But no, Jerry, he's so loyal and dedicated, he had to come in. So
normally, like, the bride would be late, but it was the groom was late this time, so we were a little bit late going.
But you had to call in here on your wedding day.
Yes, yeah.
Jerry'll have loads of stories.
He does.
Yeah, you think I have stories? Jerry has loads of stories.
And I attended school in Mount St. Michael, West Carbery, and my sister Nellie seen an advert for Atkins Clonakilty for a position as a hardware assistant, and when I was interviewed I was number 27 out of 29, and it was the next member, Mr. Wolf, that interviewed me. My condolences, because he passed away into that recently there a few years ago. But anyway, as people would be interviewed, he, first of all asked me what qualifications I had, like certificates and things, and all I had was my Ardeby school and my Christmas cert from Mount St. Michael. And he said, do you realise, he said, I have people have applied for this job with college degrees and this and that. And not being offensive, I said, no, Mr. Wolf, I said, I'm applying for a hardware assistant's job. I said, not to be not an auditor to run the country. And he looked at me, oh, that's fine. So he said, we'll go on to the next. Now he gave me a maths test, and I'd be very good with figures, so I flew through that. He showed me like a 4" for a nail, different things that you'd use for hardware jobs, so I knew what they were for. And the best of all, then he asked me, he said, if you had a leak in the roof, in a slate roof, what would you do? And I asked him, I said, it all depends on what type of roof, is there a valley in it, this and that. But between the whole of it, I confused him. And he said, look, he said, I think we'll call the interview that now and we'll get back to you. So funny enough, a week later, I got a letter in the post saying I was starting.
It's a great place to work. It has, it is, with great boss, and she's not a boss, she's a friend. Nobody leaves. Like, it just, it's testament. My father being here so long, there was another man, PJ Collins, George Driscoll. I mean, they're all like nearly 50 years average. All the lads, like, they'll all be telling you how long they're here. So it's kind of testament to a place as well when nobody wants to leave.
How many years are you here yourself?
So I'll be 20 in September.
Oh,
I'm like
20.
I'm like a newbie.
I started above where his shop is now.
Oh yes.
Yeah, myself and Joey started there, and we moved down then a few years later, and I'm still here.
Mike is so obliging and dependable. You'll know that Mike will
Well, I was
always be in.
a good timekeeper.
He'll always be in.
A good timekeeper. I was always even the same as this morning.
Even in the snow, the time we had the really bad snow, Mike was in. Mike was sure to be in. Whoever else could come, Mike was.
Even though I walked it. I walked it. Morning or evening,
What are you going to say about this shop closing down?
I'm very sorry to see it closing down. I hear so many people talking about it. They can come in and they can get anything in any amount, and the staff are always so friendly and helpful.
And can you remember back to when Sandra took this on?
She took it on 14 years ago. She's working here 34 years. And she always thought if her dad was alive when she made that decision, he probably would have told her not to, but I know he would have told her grab it with two hands, because he had such respect for Mr. Robin Atkins. He was a gentleman, and I know well he would have, and he'd be delighted with her for doing what she did do.
And will you miss the shop yourself?
I will, because I come to town once a week and I'll always land up in here.
Yeah.
And there are lots of memories, lots of good memories, but sure.
I can't have a cup of tea and peace.
All good things come to an end, I suppose, unfortunately. Yeah. Whereas here you have all the lovely workers, which is so sad. And they've all been very good to Sandra too. So I'd like to thank them as well.
The time has come to say goodbye. Atkins has been part of all our lives for so many generations. Is there e'er a house in West Cork that hasn't got an Atkins product in it? We are all feeling the loss.
It has been a great venture, and it's just sad like that it'll have to come to an end,
Yeah, I never imagined when I walked in the gate 33 years ago that I'd be the one that would have to make the decision to close, but that's the way circumstances, I suppose, have worked out, and sure, we don't know what's ahead for us.
I suppose before I finish, just to wish, Sandra and Stuart and all the staff, best in their years ahead, and that they have a long, healthy life, and it's just been a pleasure to work and be part of the firm, and thank you for the interview.
So, it's closing today. On behalf of the people of Clonakilty, I really and truly wish you all the very, very best for the future. Gaurav Mil Mahal.
So for me and Stuart, just thank you to everybody, the outpouring of love and gratitude. Sorry, I thought it was over this stage. But it's back to again, we were so lucky to work for the Atkins family, but it's back to the staff, only for the staff who wouldn't be here. Thanks so much for standing by me. Yeah, I have no more to say.
Well, you may not have been able to be there for the last day of business, but I think you'll agree that we have lost a business that has meant so much to all the people of West Cork.
For they are jolly good fellows, for they are jolly good fellows, for they are jolly good fellows.
Atkins Diy Clonakilty. Gone, but not forgotten.